Hey there, it's Bobby Legs, and welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches. And today, you and I will be taking a look at the Citizen Series 8 880 GMT, part of the Series 8 line for Citizen. This watch, I believe, came out at the end of 2023. I've had it for a little over a month now. I've been wearing it pretty regularly, so I'm ready to do this review. Now, before we get into the review, please remember to like and subscribe and share the video. I don't work with brands. I don't do promotions. I don't get paid for any of these reviews from brands. So your support with a subscription is really, really appreciated. Let's get right into the specs. We have a case diameter of 41 millimeter, 13.5 millimeter case thickness, 49 millimeter lug to lug, 11 millimeter with lug width. This is an integrated bracelet style watch, so you can have a wonky number there. Hopefully down the road, Citizen will provide some strap options, or a third party like Deluxe will provide strap options. That would be great for this watch because it does weigh, as sized for me, 164 grams. So it's quite hefty, and a strap, a rubber strap, for example, would probably lighten the load a little. The bracelet is an ancient link style bracelet that does taper down to a clasp that doesn't have any micro adjust to button pushed released here. Now it doesn't have any micro adjust, but there are some half links here, and I think I removed them already to size. So you can try your best to dial it in. It shouldn't be that much of an issue. The system here for connecting the links is a pin and collar system. You can see by the arrows there, and it does, like I said, have the collars. So if you are unfamiliar on how to change a watch like this, uh, if you buy it from Citizen, they will size it for you to your wrist dimensions. You could just enter that in the drop down at checkout, or previously to checkout. Otherwise, you can do it yourself. I recommend having the right tools to do it, and time and patience. And last resort, if you have neither of those things, I guess you could take it to the mall and they could probably size that for you for a small fee. The movement, it is powered, as you can see here, the back of it. It is powered by the 9054 caliber, 50-hour power reserve, 28,800 beats per minute. Sapphire crystal on the back here to exhibit that movement, and you can see the rotor there engraved with Citizen, as well as a sapphire crystal on top that with anti-reflective coating. The dial is a navy blue dial, and it has a pattern here that is inspired by the Tokyo skyline, allegedly, and the windows in those skyscrapers. You have a 24-hour GMT bezel that has 48 clicks, and blue on top, red on the bottom, reminiscent to some of the iconic watches, particularly Rolex. And there's a lot of iconic influences here, obviously, with the um, integrated bracelet style that is very reminiscent to several brands who have had that style for many years, especially, the Royal Oak and the Nautilus and whatnot. Um, but um, but then you have the influences with the Rolex GMT with the coloring in the dial. So, a lot of borrowing of design cues, let's call it. You have a push-pull crown here with aggressive knurl. It's a decent size, and you can get a nice pull on it. Now, what's nice about this is that it's a true GMT, meaning that the hour hand can go back and forth on the local time. As you see, the date had changed to the 3rd, but if I bring it back, it should go back to the 2nd, as we can see here. Yellow or orange, I'm sorry, tip on the GMT hand for your home time. And again, you could do a 3rd time zone here with this bidirectional, I'm sorry, bezel here. The chapter ring is stainless steel and has a nice high reflection on it, as you can see. And loomed here, that's called Citizen Luminous on the hands and the indices. Um, the loom is okay. You know, I mean, it's not a dive watch, right? It's not like the kind of loom that you'll see on a Seiko per se, but it is what it is. This is more of a travel watch per se. Let's call it that. The window on the date is at the 3 o'clock, and it is framed Citizen on the top there. Series 8 automatic GMT right above the 6 o'clock in the C. Now, a couple of things. I mean, generally, I was actually pretty happy when I got this piece because of the dial. I was just curious. I saw a couple reviews, one in particular by Watch Chris, that kind of like pushed me over the edge in getting a this Citizen GMT. I have a trip coming up, and I wanted something to keep track of the time locally and at home, which I probably don't really need because I have a phone. But anyway, I just like the idea. And like I said, I'm generally happy with the watch, although there are a couple of things that may be some turnoffs here for people. One, that dial is pretty divisive amongst some of my watch collecting friends. It is not for everyone. That pattern is a little busy. The thickness on this is, well, it's 13.5 millimeters. For a travel watch, ideally, for me, a travel watch, it should be a little bit on the thinner side. You're going to be wearing it a lot in your travels, right? And so you want something that you almost want to forget that it's there. At least that's the way I look at it. They could have saved some maybe a millimeter here or half a millimeter by going with a more solid case back and not this exhibition case back, as we can see. But I guess these brands have to weigh their options. Maybe they feel like having an exhibition case back adds value to a watch, especially to someone who's maybe not in the weeds, like in collecting like we are. We've seen as collectors many case backs, many movements that have been finished to degrees of such that are just beautiful, right? So here we have nothing really to look at. But I guess Citizen at this price point realizes that maybe having an exhibition, it will add some value. Also, the weight on this for a travel watch is pretty steep for most people. 164 grams, size to my wrist is pretty hefty. Kind of like dive watch territory here. So it may be a deal breaker for some. Not for me so much. I don't mind the weight. I do like the weight, and I do like the watch. I don't mind the thickness so much. I wish it was a little bit thinner, but overall, it's not a deal breaker. Now, this watch MSRP is $14.95. There is a version with that looks like the Batman, right? So it has the dark blue as opposed to the red, and black. And then there is a gold tone. It's not real gold, but a gold, maybe it's a gold DLC version, and that's $17.95 US. So a $300 premium on top of this. Let's put this on my wrist. Again, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, and I think it fits pretty well. It's in the sweet spot of case shape with the 41 millimeter and the 49 millimeter, 41 millimeter case diameter and a 49 millimeter lug to lug. Again, the height is, it is a chunky watch when you consider that height. Wish it was thinner. Again, not a deal breaker for me, but I can see it being a deal breaker for some. I just like the way it looks. I like the way the light shimmers off the bracelet as well. And the fact that it's not as fluid or in articulation really doesn't really make a difference here for me. And it probably won't make a difference for you. It's just something that I notice. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, guys, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this watch. Let me know if this is the kind of travel watch that you would buy. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.